What if you remove just one species from an ecosystem? Not the biggest one, not the most common one, just one. Can that really change everything else? In many ecosystems, the answer is yes. That idea is captured by something called a keystone species. A keystone species is a species that has a disproportionately large effect on the structure, diversity, or functioning of an ecosystem relative to how abundant it is. In simpler terms, it might be rare or small in number, but what it does matters far more than how many of it there are. The word keystone comes from architecture. In a stone arch, the keystone is the single stone at the top. It is not larger than the others, but it locks the whole structure in place. Remove it, and the arch collapses. A keystone species plays a similar role in an ecosystem. Take it away, and the system can reorganize or even fall apart. This idea became widely accepted after classic work by ecologist Robert Payne in the 1960s. Payne studied rocky shorelines where sea stars prey on mussels. When he removed the sea stars, mussels rapidly took over the space. Other species lost places to live, and biodiversity dropped sharply. One predator, not especially abundant, was controlling the entire community. Keystone species matter so much because of how their effects spread. They often have strong interactions with other species, meaning a small change in their population causes large changes elsewhere. Their influence is usually indirect. One interaction triggers another, then another, moving through the food web. And their role is often hard to replace. Few other species can step in and do the same job. One common way keystone species work is through top-down control. Predators like wolves or sea otters limit herbivores or grazers. When wolves were removed from Yellowstone, elk numbers rose and overgrazed vegetation. When wolves returned, plant communities recovered, affecting birds, beavers, and even river shape. This chain reaction is called a trophic cascade. Other keystone species act as ecosystem engineers. Beavers build dams that create wetlands. Those wetlands provide habitat for fish, amphibians, insects, birds, and plants. Remove beavers, and the wetlands disappear, along with many species that depend on them. Some keystone species are mutualists. Pollinators, for example, allow many plants to reproduce. Without them, plant populations decline, and so do the animals that rely on those plants. Others are keystone prey, like krill or salmon, which support many predators across the ecosystem. When a keystone species is lost, the result is rarely just one missing species. Competition increases, biodiversity often declines, habitats simplify, and ecosystems become less stable. These changes can also affect humans by reducing services like fisheries, water quality, and natural pest control. It is important not to confuse keystone species with dominant species. A dominant species is simply the most abundant. A keystone species is defined by impact, not by numbers. The key idea to remember is this. A keystone species is one whose role is so important that removing it causes cascading changes throughout the ecosystem. Small presence, huge influence. That is why keystone species are central to understanding how ecosystems work.